Right. Dungeons and Dragons and Engineers. Why we should be playing. This is the original rule set for Dungeons and Dragons 1984. With these books, you can create an entire world and bring your. Are we on good on the?
Oh, sorry.
And bring your characters to life. And here we start looking at a system that somebody else has written that we put our own rules on top of, much like we do whenever we're using somebody's programming language, or we have built upon the work of Turing or Lovelace or Babbage. So we have an existing rule set and we build on top of it. We have expanded somebody else's idea. Now, the original creators have also expanded their ideas. As of recently, there are over 500 D&D rulebooks, over 5 editions since Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, depending on if we want to count 3.5 as its own or not. And according to Wikipedia, which is incomplete, there are at least 500 other RPGs. Now, as gamers, we play lots and lots of different games. So we read lots and lots of different books. And we can't possibly remember what is happening in each of those books. And so the important thing here is less remember exactly what it said, but instead remember where to look up the rule that we're interested in. Where, and to associate new information with old information. So we have sort of in our brains a graph of where to go in order to find everything. Now, I want to specify that this is specifically for book games, not for video games. For video games, we let the computer take care of all the rules. But since we're engineers, we're actually in there, in the rules, looking stuff up, making sure we've got it all correct. Now, during your adventure, because we use dice quite a lot, the dice may not go with us. So no matter how perfectly we plan our attack on the dragon or rescue the princess, failure is always an option, right? No matter what, there is a big chance that everything's going to go wrong, much like working as an engineer, which starts to develop your understanding of risk, right? I know that going into the evil castle, I'm going to run across, bad characters, enemy guards, whatever happens to be in there. So I have to start to be able to assess risk from unknowns using my past experience. And intuition itself is a skill that is built over time. And this is a transferable skill. As you start to understand being able to assess and evaluate unknown risk, you start to be able to bring that into other areas of your life. Now, Bayesian statistics is the statistics of the moment. Frequentists will tell you that over time, a die will roll pretty evenly, but we're talking over billions and billions of die rolls when we get our even distribution. Bayesian, on the other hand, is the understanding of how much confidence I have that this next action is going to work. And this is something that you learn playing Dungeons and Dragons, right? How confident am I that I'm going to be able to trick the guard into letting me into the castle to go do what I'm trying to do? I studied at the Oxford Department of Statistics, some of the best minds in stats in the world, but none of them have sort of the deep understanding of that Bayes that you see just walking down to Game Castle in San Jose, where we know deeply and intuitively how much confidence to give an action. Just-in-time decision-making. So everything's gone wrong, right? I've gone in, I'm in the castle, I just blew my stealth roll, I've got a dragon and a bunch of guards coming at me, right? So what do I do now? I have to be able to make decisions. I have to be able to assess the situation, come up with a plan, break that plan into actions, set those priorities, and set that action into place. This is very much like a GCA, right? Everything's gone bad. We now have to fix it all. And this is one of the things that adventuring will help you to get into practice for. Because again, thinking on your feet is a skill. Like intuition, the more you do it, the better you become at it. And final slide. Bring friends, right? You are not going to be able to defeat the dragon alone. None of us know everything there is to know about all the technology here at LinkedIn or at any other company. When you bring friends, diversify your skill set. It does no good for everybody to know the same thing, because we can all fix the same thing. But what we want is a crew of people that each have their own ability to fix different parts of the problem. We have to work together. With those diversified skill sets, I'm better at something, Rob will be better at something else. And we need to know what we're each good at so that we can each attack our own particular problems. We also have to learn how to adapt to each other, right? Because we're in this together, we have to depend upon each other, and we have to understand how each of us works in a stressful situation. And finally, always leave someone on watch looking for that trouble. I was on call until this morning. I was the guy on watch looking for that trouble. So this is all fun time ways to develop these skills that are transferable into the engineering space. So enjoy, have fun, play D&D. Thank you. Any questions?
Questions?
Yep.
No questions? All right.